Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the Executive Minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ plus community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is the justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ plus community.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections. This is live, and then we are available on demand. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform and social media.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we're here to tell you that you're God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Till death do us part, as gay penguin Magic is now a widower. ABC News reported that Sphen, an Australian gentoo penguin who became famous in 2018 when news of his same-sex male partnership with Magic made global headlines, has died at the age of 11. Dubbed the Penguin Power Couple, Sphen and Magic became a couple in 2018 and spent 6 years together, successfully adopting and raising 2 chicks, Lara, who is now 6 years old, and Clancy, who is 4. Sphen and Magic also inspired a Mardi Gras float, which has been included in the New South Wales education syllabus and even featured in the Netflix series Atypical. Countless books tell of their love story, and even documentaries on same-sex animal couples have featured Sphen and Magic. Sphen and Magic have, just by being themselves, shared messages on conservation, plastic pollution, global warming, and the importance of protecting wild penguins. This penguin couple had a special bond. They could even be found together outside of the breeding season, which apparently is unique for gentoo penguins. The Queer God Squad sends condolences to Magic, even as we celebrate the legacy of Sphen and their love. That is such a sweet story. You know, with a lot of the ugly and the uncertainty and everything that's happening right now, this is really just a wonderful, sweet, affirming story. And it's also a good reminder for children and for even adults that same-sex attraction occurs outside of the human experience. And one thing that I particularly loved is that they were used to spread news about the ecology, the environment, plastics pollution. What more could you ask for?
Yeah. You know, and love. I mean, I was taught, I think, as a kid, or maybe it was just implied, that animals didn't really feel the way we feel, think the way we think. And I just think those are people who've never really lived with animals.
Right.
I mean, even horses. I mean, my nieces have these strange bond with this horse. It's now 1,000 years old, but I mean, the horse responds to them in a way that is clearly emotional, clearly heartfelt, clearly important. And of course, you know, we have a dog, and I swear we communicate. And it's not just that there's patterns, you know, because you know, she is creative, and she can be manipulative. She can, she's just smart. Yeah. And so I don't know. I think that I think there's one thing in the universe. I think there's just one thing. And I choose to call it love, but you could call it energy or life or whatever. You can call it matter. I don't care. But I think there's one real thing, one basic thing, and we're all expressions of it. And so why would penguins or flamingos or dogs or cats or horses be any less an expression of the thing than we are? Especially when you think of, we are like in the suburbs. Our little planet is like a tiny thing in the suburbs of a not super impressive galaxy in a universe that has zillions of galaxies. I mean, first of all, how dare we be so full of ourselves anyway?
Right.
So if we've got it, there's who doesn't get it? Who you know, like I assume that like bacteria and worms, whatever, they're way lower on the scale. But once they work their way up evolutionary to, you know, thumbs and thinking and speech,
who knows?
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I am not at all surprised that penguins fall in love, that penguins form families, and that gender is not, being one gender or another isn't a determining factor
Yep.
about how you love and how you build your families and how you build relationships or whatever. So yeah, I think this is, biologically, see, it happens everywhere, but also theologically, whatever the thing is that I, because I'm religious, call divine, that thing is part of everything.
Yep.
I just love that at this table we can talk about almost everything on the planet. And to have a story like this about a same gender loving couple that just happens not to be human.
Yeah.
Wow. What a great story.
Yeah.
And my favorite line from the story was that they are a power couple.
Yes, the penguin power
They
couple.
are a penguin power couple. They are out there changing the world one brain at a time, showing the world what love can do. My
And the pollution is
gosh.
bad.
I mean, my goodness, they're out there. Another Barack and Michelle or something. I just love the story. Thank you for sharing it.
No, I love it too.
I'm probably going to date myself now, but did you, as a kid growing up, we had to watch this show called The Wild Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Marlon Perkins.
Marlon Perkins and the Mutual
I thought you were gonna say
Obama.
the New Zoo Review.
I remember that one too.
While Jim is wrestling.
With the alligator.
I watched it safely from the helicopter. Yeah.
I just remember thinking about that show as a kid. Growing, we always had to watch that show kind of as a family because it was like this,
Yep,
how you
yep.
know about animals, it's not about all this other stuff. I mean, mainly animals at that point living in southern Alabama you would never see anyway. But just think about some of the things that would show like alligators and penguins and certainly the flamingos. And I just kind of reminded like the appreciation for my animal culture really began watching that show.
Yeah.
To kind of see how we've all kind of fast forward now to talk about, same-sex penguins and same-sex flamingos and all this other stuff. That, I'm just so convinced by this sameness of sharing and love and this kind of call for social justice around their messaging. They may need to become the mascots for Sunshine Cathedral for the parade. If I can find some yellow flamingos.
We already have the black and white.
Yeah, hey, that's a start. So, but no, great story, good human. It's just a good reminder about the
Yeah.
appreciation that life comes in so many different ways, and we can express ourselves in so many different ways, and the animal kingdom is not excluded from it. And I think we still have a lot to learn from them as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I had a pig named Jeannie in Arkansas because a cousin that I really liked her name was Jeannie, so I named my pig after my cousin Jeannie, and she was very flattered. And she was a runt, Jeannie, the runt. And so I took her into my bedroom. She lived in a little box by my bed. I washed her with Prel shampoo. I bottle fed her. Well, eventually she was okay. She was no longer a runt. She couldn't stay in my bedroom anymore. So we put her in the yard. She played with dogs. She thought she was a dog, except she was a pig. And so she would root up the yard. So eventually my mother put her foot down and she had to go to the pig sty, the pig pen with the other pigs. She didn't like the other pigs. She was way too good for the pigs. I mean, she had a bedroom for crying. I mean, hello, and now she's in this pig sty. And she never would play with them, and she would never breed. So we always sort of laughed at Jeannie, the lesbian pig. But she would, for real, now we know she might have been asexual. But in any case, there was not a boar in the bunch that she ever had any, in fact, would hurt. I mean, she would defend herself if they're like, "Hey, it's that time." She's like, "Not with me, it ain't." and it didn't happen. And so,
I was raised in a house. Thank you very much.
yeah, exactly.
And take Prel shampoo.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if one of these dogs want to try something, I'll think about it. But no pigs for me. And so I. Of course, I didn't think much of the time, but like I actually grew up seeing that, like experiencing that personally. So Jeannie the lesbian pig, my very own companion in Hillbilly Youth.
Who knew?
Right. So,
Wow.
Well, that's the day with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
The Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.